Hi, Gemini. Welcome into your timeless empowerment and love reading. This oracle card reading is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Ascendant. And as we are an amalgamation of a whole bunch of Zodiac soup, as I like to call it, maybe it's the title that resonated with you. And maybe there is a message here for you. I make my readings timeless because we do talk about empowerment and we talk about love relationships. And different people go through different things at different times. So whenever you find this message, if you resonate with it, there could be something in here for you. If you're new here, my name is Debbie Dubois. Welcome to my channel. On my channel, we talk about empowerment, of course, spirituality, and one of my favorite topics is the new incoming love relationship blueprint. We're going to do a love reading in the second half of the reading. The first half of the reading is going to be an empowerment message. So if you'd like to tune in a little bit stronger and contribute your energy to this reading, I suggest liking the video, subscribe to the channel, as that is a way of adding your energy to the collective, which means that it's easier for me to read specifically for you in this reading and in other readings in the future. We're going to get started. What we're going to do is I've already pulled a couple of cards that we're going to be looking at, and that's empowerment and disempowerment in practice, which I thought really interesting. We're doing an empowerment reading. There does seem to be some areas of Gemini's life that you might be dealing with disempowerment. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to start shuffling the cards, and I do have some thoughts already coming in on the significance of these two words together. And that is that when we are expanding, and we are, as far as I'm concerned, we're in a disempowerment chamber. This is the reality and the realm that we find ourselves in. Everything is here to try to disempower you. And it's like the objective of the game is for you to find your power. And, that's how you win the game. So, the word that comes to mind, this whole thing with practice, is practice makes perfect. But in order to do that, you have to find, like, where is it that you're having a hard time with empowerment, and then really working on coping strategies that help you bring information that's going to help you, and then practicing, continual practice, and up leveling and upgrading anything that comes up in those areas. And that's what we find ourselves doing right now during the awakening period and ascension period, if that's what you want to call it. That's essentially the whole theme of what we're doing. So it's going to be really interesting to see what comes up for Gemini. I have a Gemini ascendant, and I'm heavily Gemini, so I always enjoy doing Gemini readings. I'm using my instincts and going with the Zodiac 180. And first, we're just going to go ahead and pull some cards, and we're going to find out, where are we looking, at disempowerment for Gemini. Okay, we got the bodybuilder. And as I'm tuning into the energies here, it's like, what is helpful for Gemini to know? What does Gemini need to know right now to become more empowered? And it's interesting, the bodybuilder, right? Bodybuilder is about strength, power, determination to self-improve. We got bug burning, wow, which is about silencing. So there might be something here, disempowerment, having to do with feeling that you can't speak or that you're being persecuted for something. All right, let's just keep going here. We've got spilled milk. So this is about accidents, regrets, but it's also about leaving things in the past. So there might be something from your past that is creating a bit of disempowerment for you. I want to say, yeah, in some way you've had something where you have been in a position where there have been mind games, your freedom has been limited, and you're working, this bodybuilder saying you're working at it. And the crew makes an appearance here, and that is that's working together with a team, working together, forming alliances, So maybe you have a group of people that are helping you with this. Oh my gosh, we've got some victim mentality here too. See, disempowerment is written all over this reading. The crutches is victim mentality. Relying too much on others or feeling helpless, but it's right next to the crew. So it's like maybe you're leaning hard on a crew and the crew isn't showing up. Yeah, all right, let's keep going. This is fascinating. What else does Gemini need to know about disempowerment? What do they need to know at this time? Wow. All right, so we got the chess. I've been getting this a lot. And the chess is really about, there's a plan here. There's moves and counter moves. And I feel that depending on where you're looking at it, if you're looking at a global level or if you're looking at a personal level, that, you know, your higher self, and this feels more like a personal reading. There's a little bit of twinges of other stuff in there. I'll get to that in a minute, but because there's always macro, micro going on here. But this is you. This is in you. This is you dealing with your own disempowerment, which of course, when we're not able to step into our own power, the bigger picture looks a lot more disempowering to us. But this chess piece is all about moves, counter moves, courses of action, strategy and planning, grand design. Oh my goodness. I don't know what's going on, Gemini, but there's some really, really potent, strong energies going on here for you. This is a complex situation. It's a riddle to solve. It's also feeling bound. Yeah, the binding forces. I'm getting a little bit deeper into the reading while I'm pulling the cards than I probably should be, because we'll be here all day if I keep doing that, because I want to go to a tabletop view so that you can see how these cards relate to each other as I'm sort of working it out and discovering that as well. Okay, so we got a symphony is a similar energy to the crew. So this indicates something about, you know, being part of an organized structure. Okay, we got two more cards. We got the optical illusion. And what is the last card here? The sap, which is the resources needed. Okay, there's some pretty, really strong energies on this reading. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change to the overhead view. And let's read these cards together, shall we? Yeah, this is an incredibly powerful set of cards here for, especially since we are drawing the disempowerment card. And you know, I've been really sitting here for just a minute, tuning into the energy of these cards. And I want to say that we were talking a little bit about the microcosm, macrocosm, and I do feel that there's a little bit of overlap here. Some of you are maybe more outer focused, and in that particular case, you're maybe tuning into the energies a little bit more of what's happening out there. And then others of you are working within yourself on disempowerment within yourself. I'm getting both energies here. So I'm going to try to read for both circumstances, which should be fun here. Before I do that, I want to let you know that Intuit Oracle is the loose sponsor of this channel. It's the only cards I use. It's my, most of the time, it's my business with my business partner, Kimberly. Aria, she creates incredible cards, although I have had a hand in, you know, some of the cards that we created, the Healing, Focus, and Empower. I had a hand in creating because of the fact that I found that reading cards without having a real focus, either on, from an empowerment standpoint, that sometimes readings just always went in one direction, and most people are, you know, tuned into love or career or money or whatever. So anyways, and we create cards that anyone can read. So I love doing this. I love showing you how I'm reading the cards so that, you know, if at any point you wanted to stop the video, you want to zoom in and you want to take a look at the words on the cards, your higher knowing knows your situation way better than I do. This is a general reading, so I'm going to be just picking up on general energies. And what I'm getting here is that this is a huge time of expansion for Gemini, Gemini and people with Gemini in their charts. And everything is lined up at this particular moment whenever you're seeing this for you to actually take on and challenge this, any areas of your life that are feeling disempowered. We're getting the knot and the crutches. I think I showed this, maybe I showed this before. Gosh, we have the spilled milk, the burning book, the knot and the crutches. And all of this is, you know, very, I want to say, very strong energies of facing something that isn't an easy thing to face. So, some of you may be feeling a little bit of a pity party, oh my God, this is too much for me to cope with. And you might be relying too much on others. It's right next to the Crew card. So you might be putting your energies into other people's lives, to try to, I don't know, like balance out this very strong energy, um, and make yourself feel better. I mean, helping other people can make you feel better, but there's some stuff there's some stuff coming up here that needs to be left in the past. Um, things have changed. It's time to let things go, and it does feel like, look at this right next to book burning. So there's some stuff, and who is not dealing? Oh my God, 2 5 cards, which are change. So these are two things that really need to be changed. And there's this persecution energy, this this heavy energy of censorship and silencing, whether you're silencing yourself or you feel like someone else is silencing you. The really good news here, though, I'm seeing two things. First of all, I'm going to address this. The optical illusion is things are not what they seem. So right now, you might be in a place where you are feeling a little bit like things are out of your control, that you're feeling you're maybe dealing with complex situations, things that are difficult, and you're trying to hold things together. But what I'm getting here is that this period of time is really pushing down on you for the bodybuilder. The bodybuilder brings in the power, strength, mastery, and self-improvement. And look at this, right in the corners of this card, of these two spaces, like on opposite corners, you've got the resources, everything that you need. And what I'm getting very strongly is a need for the grounding, a need for going into the roots of what's important, which is abundance, having an abundant life of all the good things, the things that really matter, to nourish yourself, to provide yourself with all of the things that you need, that they're available to you, that you have what it takes. You have the ability to focus on yourself, to push through this, that this is part of your mastery, and you are supported. I mean, there is an organized structure here. There is a team that's here to support you, whether that's in person or whether that's remotely or whether that's energetic. But there is some kind of really organized way that all of this is coming to the foreground. So yeah, this is all part of the grand design of what needs to happen for you at this time, because what we've got going on is an intense, I said to someone earlier today, it's kind of like everything's magnified. It's like what would normally, like if you're like, let's say there's a child involved, and normally your child would like do something and you take away the keys to the car, and that would be okay. And then you have a little bit of tiff and the kid gets upset and all that. But this is like, oh my gosh, now the kid is, taking those keys and they're gonna drive off a cliff, and it makes everything, it amplifies everything right now. And that's what I'm getting, is an amplified energy that is really pushing down on you to pull in that inner strength, to find that inner strength. And the practice card is saying, there's a grand design here. You're supported by probably the higher self and in your team, right? You're supported here. This is going to be a matter of recognizing where you are feeling these feelings. And I want to say some of this is from the past, the censorship. You might be having past life stuff come up that has to do with times in the past, like I can't help but thinking of witch trials and stuff where you were canceled, persecuted. You're in the process of rewriting that history, right? It's a makeover. This is a makeover. And this is the false premise that spilled milk cannot be changed, right? It can't be changed. Oh my gosh, I did this. I can't, or I've been through this and I can't. How do you change this energy? How do you clean it up? How do you let it go? This is the mastery that you're working on. But I do want to say this, the optical illusion card comes out really strongly is this isn't what this seems. Things are not as, in other words, your present moment is not as disempowering as you would think it is. You're feeling the energies possibly of the past, if that makes sense. So I'm going to pull an empowerment card, at least one, and see if there's some word of advice in terms of how to press through this. I mean, I do feel like this is just something you're going to have to walk through. And this might not apply to everyone. And if not, you've already switched off. But it's okay to make mistakes. Forgive yourself. I think there is a big part of that right here. Somehow, it's that regret. It's like somehow I spilled the milk, somehow I spilled the milk and I'm not exactly sure how to clean it up. I'm not sure of a way out of this complex situation. But you are supported in this, energetically supported, physically supported. And it is okay to make mistakes and forgive yourself. Bring the light from within you to shine, right? Come to the surface with that light. Let it shine. And I kind of feel that this goes along with the sap card, this nourishment, whatever it is, give yourself the essentials of life, bathe in it, bask in it. And that would be the light, right? That would be the light. I'm going to go ahead and pull one more card because this is I am saying, and this is just a short period of time and it's just a snapshot. So, okay, being your beautiful, authentic self is the greatest contribution you can make to the world. And that does mean pushing through whatever this disempowerment is. And it requires practice. When you identify things, releasing, letting go, releasing and letting go. And, I want to say positive affirmation statements, start writing some down too, to counteract. If you find yourself saying some disempowering things to yourself, maybe write down some positive affirmations that reframe this very deeply ingrained stuff coming up right now. And authentic self is really where this is at. That's where this is all going, is the authentic self, which doesn't have any of that. So that's kind of a strong reading, and it might not resonate with everyone, and maybe everyone isn't in that particular place, and that's okay. We're all at different places at different times. And now it's interesting. I'm really interested to tune in. We're going to look at the love reading aspect. We're going to look at the love relationship. And let's see if this is coming up for you in love relationships as well. Or if we've got some completely different energy going on from that standpoint. All right, so we're going to use the Intuit Oracle. This is the deck that I love for relationships. All right, what do we got here? All right, we've got a longing for something. Magnet. Got the magnet, right? There's a desire for something. There's a desire for something, a yearning for something. And that yearning is very magnetic. So it is bringing that towards you. All right, so here we go. We're in the process. The mortar and the pestle is about creating something new, right? It's alchemy. It's and we can tell from the first part of the reading, there seems to be some real alchemy going on. So that is going to be present in the love relationship, because is my opinion that we are bringing in this, we're bringing in this new love blueprint, and we're doing it through our healing, and we're doing it through it rippling out. We've got the Phoenix. So whatever it is you're working on right now is a very critical part of total transformation within your relationships. Because really, we can't have the kind of relationship we're looking for unless we're fully in our power. The teacups we got, and this is, possibly you're in a process of containing your emotions and keeping check on all of that. But this is also I want to say it's balancing the energy of the work that you're doing with you time. This is that energy that I was talking about with the resources and the sap. This is the ritual of taking care of yourself, honoring your social connections, and well, it's also reflection. So it's going inwards, but it's you time, and it can be you time socially, or it can be you time alone. But it's what brings you comfort during this period of time. So it kind of has the same energy as the sap. Now we also have the birds. So it could be that you are in communication with someone, that you're discussing this with someone, whether you're in a relationship or not in a relationship. It looks like contact is being made. Maybe you're talking to someone, chatting. All of this is really, even in the love side of things, is your aha moments, your breakthroughs, your alchemy going on right now. And this is what's happening in you. This is what I'm getting. This is about you, not your person. Although there's always a reflection, whatever you're going through, whoever that counterpart is out there, whether it's someone you know or don't know, they are going to be reflecting what you're going through. There's that hornet's nest. This is right here, to me, an indication that some of the disempowerment stuff you might be feeling is probably affecting your relationship, or the potential relationships. It's to me, it's a little bit of a signal to at least expect that, the stuff that you're working through, which is really, oh my gosh. Yeah. All right. I've interrupted myself here, but this uprooted, the deep changes you're going through right now is going to break radically from the past of how you've handled things, how you've seen things. It's almost like this disempowerment piece really has to be peeled off. And it's right next to the hornet's nest, which is saying, this may feel really uncomfortable, right? But I also want to say, without even looking at the words on it, when you get close to a hornet's nest, there is this fear that comes up. What's the fear? That you're going to get stung, or that you're going to get stung by a lot of them, right? That it's going to be very, very dangerous. But I want to say that the light bulb is saying, listen, whatever this is right here, this is your breakthrough moment. So if things are really pressing down on you and feeling a little bit threatening, it's because it's time. And it's necessary. Listen, I haven't even pulled the rest of the cards, but when we have a phoenix, this is the rebirth, and we're breaking from the past. This is deep changes. These are the two central cards right here in my rose. This is the emphasis on what you're working on. So listen, none of this is fun, bringing in these relationship blueprints, but we're the ones that signed up to do it, and it's not coming in without us. So I really thank you for your service in all of the things that you're doing. The beaver says, hey, things work against you, but persistence pays off. You have something new coming on the horizon. That's coming, that is coming for Gemini. Let's see what else. Let's pull one more card. And yeah, Gemini, you are doing some serious work and look at this. Look at this. You're doing some serious work for what? The twin flames, the ones, the deep soul connections. All of the stuff that you're working on leads to this. Okay? It leads to this. So that's super, super encouraging, if that is a primary part of your path. I know, there's a lot of us here that are here for other things. But to me, when what you've done is reflected in another, and you have the full support I think that any of us that don't want this is literally because we just either don't feel worthy, we're not ready, we don't believe it exists. But who doesn't really want a perfect reflection of their perfection? Once you've reached your perfection, you have someone that absolutely sees everything in you and they've done their work, and there we move into a completely supported space. So this is the encouragement that all of the stuff that you're working on in this first part of the reading really has a payoff. I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to pull a few cards from the Twin Flame Oracle. Let's find out if your person has a message for you. And I want to say that what I have noticed is that most of the people that are resonating with the work that I do are not in serious relationships, or they're working on these relationships because, in my opinion, these new blueprints have yet to land. There are exceptions to the rules, so I'm not painting this straight across. But so most of these messages are your person, and whether or not you're with this person, it does not matter. They are energetically there. You guys are connected by a string of some kind, it's a proverbial string. Your person is feeling you pull away, and it triggers the fears that you'll leave for good. So even if you're not with this person yet, until you resolve some of your stuff, they're feeling it. That is what I'm getting from this message. They're feeling the triggers of whatever it is you're going through. Gosh, I keep getting this card. I really believe now, as I keep seeing this card come up over and over and over again, that even if you don't have a person that you know of, that the person may already know who you are. They may have already seen you from afar, and they're just waiting for a connection. This doesn't have to be on the internet. This could be in real life. Someone's seen you. They've said, oh my gosh, there's something about that person. And they want to find out more about you. So if they have the means, the social media part might be there. The person who is yours by divine right is tired of being away from you physically, just the way you're tired of being away from them physically, whether you know them or not. They're working on their fears so that they can come back in alignment with you and be together. So that's a really good sign. All right, let's pull one more card and let's see what we got. I'm realizing this connection is something special and worth treasuring. So in this case, if you know the person or if you're in relationship, the relationship is deepening for them. But if you're not, what they're starting to realize is the importance of relationship to them. They're starting to long for you. They're starting to yearn for you. And I do believe there is some major stuff happening with the masculine energies in terms of healing. In fact, it's a good time to mention, I think what I've decided is, in addition to my Zodiac ratings, I'm going to start doing a touch base. Let's look in. Let's see what's happening in the counterpart blueprint, because I feel that the masculine is significantly shifting. And we may not see it yet, and they might not be here yet, but that's because they've got to do this work. You can't do this work for them, and they're being forced to do this work. So they're starting to realize in the work that they're doing how important having a partner is, which is the carrot on the stick for them. So I think I'm going to go ahead and leave that reading here. If you have any comments, I really would love to hear them. Wow, Gemini, that is one of the most intense, powerful readings that I've done in a while. And, having a lot of that Gemini inside of me, I say that I can really align with that. Everything is really pushing on us right now. It's like 50 times the power that we would normally feel. And I kind of felt that was going to be the case for 2025. But again, I want to thank you for your service, because if you're really digging deep into the empowerment issues, the disempowerment issues, and you're really, really pushing on, and that's where the card, the practicing, comes in, you're really helping the collective right now. So good job. All right. If you have any comments, I think I just mentioned that, please, I would love to hear if this is relevant to your situation or where you feel it might be relevant to your situation. I'd like to find out if this is really, I mean, this is what the cards are saying. This is what my intuition is saying. I'd really like to get some confirmation out there from my Geminis to see if this is at all impacting you. I also wanted to let you know that I did a 4-part pick a card reading. You might want to check that out. I did put that in the description box below. It is messages from your love, from your person. And all of those readings indicate that the masculine's doing their work. Now, where we have masculine and we have not done our work, Gemini, this is where this stuff is coming up. And the masculine, believe it or not, has been very disempowered. So we always think of the feminine as being disempowered, but the masculine has been disempowered. And so they're reacting through all different kinds of ways to the disempowerment that they have faced. So thank you for spending this time with me. I look forward to reading for you again. Till that time, take care. Bye.